Today I have a challenge for you, and that is to watch this entire video uninterrupted. Why? Because if you have the tendency to skip over any video that you watch, then I invite you to question whether you're truly interested in discovering and exploring something, or simply you assume that you're right just by knowing and seeing a portion of something and not the entirety of it, and forming your own conclusions, and thus satisfying your own ego. Throughout the rest of this video, try watching it with no judgment and just see what happens. If you look at this video and you happen to know me in person, or you have an image of me, you will watch this video through that image of me. For example, if I speak about intergender or intersexual dynamics, you'll probably say, well, yeah, he must be like that because he was in a relationship and then he's no longer in a relationship and therefore he's angry. Or you can say, well, he must be like this because he's a man with these and these tendencies and I know him. But what I invite you to do is to, sure, have that. That's your mind and your opinion. But while viewing this content, try to just view it. Just observe. And you'll see that you will inevitably learn always more and more progressively for the rest of your life, hopefully. Now let's go into it. Why do we fail to learn? And why are we so unhappy even though we seemingly have everything we need? We fragment so much. We focus on things that do not inherently matter to us, that don't provide value to us, but we're so used to. There are so many different fragments of us that we need to feel as engaged with as many of them as possible so that we can feel connected to the world. If you meet an average person living in the West, the likelihood that they have 10 different activities and things that they do is very high. And we can go and say, and draw the conclusion, which we shouldn't, that, oh, this person is very talented and this person is very gifted. Probably so. But the question is whether this person is actually enjoying these things, or is he or she doing these things because they want to be involved and be a part of something. True enjoyment in the process does not require that we take up as many versions of that process as possible. Simplicity is the key to a happy and fulfilled life. And the reason we make things so complicated is because we just cannot bear the thought of everything that we do maybe being absolutely pointless. And I'm not referring to nihilism and to nihilistic aspect of one's existence, but rather that everything that we do is done for a cause, for a reason that is nothing but a creation in our mind, based on the observation of the external world. For example, if I look around, I live in Malmö, Sweden, and if I look around and see how people behave, then based on my structure of the self and the image of the self, I will look around and I will say, well, based on how I am, I see myself doing this. So I'm already acting in pursuit of an image which is not here and now. And if I don't improve my environment here and now, then that will reflect itself in the future, and the same patterns will repeat themselves inevitably. If there are things that I don't finish, like basic tasks such as cleaning, such as maintenance, such as arranging things around in the apartment, then the greatest of difficulties and the greatest of tasks that hit me will become even greater problems because the environment in which I need to be and resolve them are corrupt. Because there is no inherent order in my thinking and how I relate to the world. One of the reasons for this, and one of the reasons why most of us are not able to tackle our problems and resolve them effectively, is because there is so much external influence to our lives, partially by social media, other people's opinions, but most significantly because of our disconnection to ourselves, and thus the fundamental inability to see ourselves for who we are. Because for who we are and to see who we are, we go to other people. We go to therapists, we go to friends and tell them our difficulties and stories in search for comfort and validation. And of course, we interact with the external world to find our place in it. There is nothing inherently wrong with doing any of these things. I'm not talking down on therapy. I believe therapy can be quite beneficial to people. But therapy serves the purpose of revisiting the past in order to understand it, which thus fragments one even more by separating him and her from the present moment and fully integrating his or her experience. Personal opinion. You see, as you listen to me right now, your mind must be already thinking, well, what is the sense in all this? Is he gonna come to a point? Is there a point to any of this? And the point is there for you to make, not for me to make the point. Because then you will be using my point and the point that I made to validate your own opinion or to invalidate mine. That is not the purpose of this video, and that is not the purpose of my content. Whatever I say, whatever I present, is not meant to be interpreted as the ultimate truth, so that you can come against me or support me or what I say. No, it's supposed to simply be, okay, this exists too, and let us incorporate this into the interpretation of reality and see what this is. Inquire into it on your own and understand reality and the world on your own. Because once you start doing that, you will see incremental, beautiful changes in your perception and being that will no longer reflect the pattern of what you're used to doing, which is, for example, I will do A and B to accomplish C. Because if we live in contemporary, especially Western societies, we are heavily conditioned to follow a certain pattern and norm to get the desired outcome, thus perpetually putting ourselves instead of survival and fighting perpetually and constantly to feel safe and to feel good, and even worse, not feeling good as we are per default. Because there are so many factors affecting how we think, other people's opinions, constant influence by social media, marketing, ads, fashion, everything that tells us that this is how we should be. And by all means, we should be a certain way if we have a desire, if there is a desire to be a part of this world, and if there is a desire to thrive in this world, absolutely. However, if we are to simply be a part of all this, of this experience and of this reality, and that becomes very scary, because we come to understand that in order to do that, we actually don't need to do anything. And that is meditation. That is not thinking and simply being. And it contradicts everything we know about existence and living, because, well, I can't just be like this all day. There's work to be done. I can't just be sitting around being all blissful because there are dishes to be done and there is homework to be done. And by all means, homework will be done or not, and that still won't change anything. It will change the outcome. But as a living entity that will live and die, you need to take even greater perception and perspective of that and try to understand the motivation of your own actions. Once you understand the motivation of your actions, you will see that I'm not going to tell you what you're going to see, because you will see for yourselves. Because if you truly do this for yourselves, then what you discover won't be the outcome of what I told you. It will be the outcome of what you discovered on your own. And I will get no credit for that, which I don't want, because I discover what I did on my own. And I'm not portraying this as something I believe everyone should do, or everyone should feel this way, oh, this beautiful feeling of existence and pursuit and whatnot. No. I simply want to share it as an option, as an opportunity to discover more, which I believe life essentially is about discovering more, learning more constantly. And whenever we arrive at a conclusion, to be aware that the moment we arrive at a conclusion, we have the chance of being lost because we hold on to that conclusion. You will probably hear me say things and make conclusions myself. And whenever I do that, don't trust me. Trust yourselves, trust your intuition, and go beyond it. Because in conclusions, we find safety and security, which we never can have. Because what we're avoiding is death. What we're avoiding is the cessation of this experience. And if I got you very confused by this point, watch this video again, and then again. Or watch this video. And if I did it right, then a video will appear somewhere. And if not, don't watch a video. But explore your life on your own. And if you've watched this video uninterrupted to the very end, with no judgment, then you know what exactly I'm talking about. And if not, you're judging me. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Everyone should be okay with being judged, because they will be, no matter what. It's our nature to do that, to preserve ourselves. But once we stop doing that, we stop caring about what other people think. And when we stop caring what others think, something beautiful happens. But I will let you figure that on your own. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for doing this kind of work. Please like and subscribe to this video and channel so that the algorithm can get to the right people, to the people who want to see this kind of content and get this kind of message. And I'll see you soon. Bye.